guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Fossil Kajin Cosplay, and tonight we are back again with you guys with the Haunting of Bly Manor.
Her cat is making sound in the background, I'm sorry. It's okay. Episode 4. So the wait came. Last episode we saw a bit of what happened with Rebecca and Peter. That's his name?
Peter, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Creepy Luke. We saw... it got confirmed, at least for me, that Miles is being possessed by Creepy Luke, like that's for sure.
Of course he is.
There's a possibility that Peter's ghost doesn't know Rebecca's dead, which would be interesting, but then, and people don't seem to think he's dead at all, so what happened? We don't know. They stayed for an entire day and night, and Owen's mom died. There's a little love story going on between Dani and the gardener. We love love stories. And aside from that, we saw how basically Peter was manipulating shit.
Yeah.
How he was very possessive of Rebecca, how he might have been obsessed with the idea of being the owner of the manor. You know, he wanted to be the man in charge. And with the story that Miles being possessed told everyone about the puppet master, you know, and the puppets forgetting about the puppet master and him freaking out, it would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So we still don't know what actually led to the suicide, but we saw the beginning of it. So part 2 isn't for now, it's for later.
Yeah. I'm even thinking that maybe it wasn't a suicide, but maybe a murder.
I don't know. Let's see what came from what way in the 4th episode and see if we see more of the past.
Alright.
I think not. I think they're gonna wait for part 2 to tell us, you know, what actually happened up to the suicide. But we'll see. Let's go. And by the way, sorry for how weird the uploads have been with this show. Every time I upload an episode, it gets blocked. So I have to wait a couple days every time for them to clear. Sometimes it clears before Monday when I release the episodes, and sometimes it doesn't, so... YouTube.
So you have to wear them forever now? Forever until you die? Mom says they make me look extinguished. She probably
Young
said
Dani?
distinguished.
Yeah!
It's like fancy.
So it's her brother then!
You can stay for dinner again. I should go home. No,
it's
really.
her friend.
You can stay.
Okay.
My mom says you can stay.
Childhood friend.
I think she wishes she could swap us.
Maybe more than just childhood friend.
Yeah, they grew into high school sweethearts. They're going to prom, right?
I think so.
We just have to get through this and then they'll leave us alone for a while.
Oh.
They were engaged!
Not even prom, like, let's just go marriage. You kind of assumed it was her fiance last episode.
Well, maybe not fiancé, but maybe more like a boyfriend.
From childhood sweethearts to happily ever after, yeah. It's a beautiful story. With a terrible ending.
Scared me. And then Kyle tells me that kissing is how you get a girl pregnant. So I panicked. I was 10 years old. So the very next day, while we were walking to school, I get down on one knee and I asked her to marry me.
He was 10 years old.
She turned me down. And well, over the years I kept asking and asking. Now, we're still pretty young, but I think we are old enough to know what we want. What
She seems unsure.
to be
Yeah.
the man that gets to be with Danielle. Thank you for daring me to do it. Can't wait.
I feel actually very bad. I don't know why he dies, but... No wonder she's running.
I guess you didn't make it to the funeral either.
Oh, no. It's not my cup of tea, to actually be
Maybe she
honest.
can't go.
I haven't been there since... God. Since I was married. I pay my respect to my own ways. He understands that funerals are for the living. It's up to the living to decide what they can and cannot bear. Right, you. Come along. Let's get some supper started for you children, shall we?
The au pair found that she lit her candle not in remembrance of those that she lost, but to atone for the moments she didn't remember them. Those most recent moments where she'd even been happy to have forgotten them.
there was another lord in the cemetery, but...
Ambrose Lode.
I should have kept my dress. I think I burned it. Bad memories, bad marriage. Luckily, Danielle does not share my taste in men.
You got great shoulders. You know that?
Thank you.
Karen, please. Did you let
She was
Mike
already
see you in
attracted
yours?
to women.
No, but Danielle's father
I wonder if she's
helped
bi
me
or if
find
she's
out, and look how
straight
that
up,
turned out.
you know, gay, and she doesn't want to accept it.
Maybe. But it was technically a time where it wasn't as accepted as now, right?
You're not dying, you know. When Mum and Dad died, I thought I was going to die too. I was sure of it. But then I thought, what if I was already dead? That was dreadful.
That's
It
supposed to
only
be
felt like
foreshadowing.
dying. Because actually, I was still alive. You have to be to feel that way. I wasn't dead. It was just really, really sad.
Damn, little kid.
Dead doesn't mean gone. So, you don't need to be sad.
I mean, creepy factor aside,
Satan,
it's actually great.
a glass of wine. I was thinking we could just tone it all down.
Yeah, I thought you wanted a big wedding. If you don't, that's all perfectly well and fine.
I thought I wanted it. I wanted to want it, but it's just so expensive and so many people to let down.
No, easy. It's done. Yeah, for a second, I thought you were going to say you didn't want to get married at all.
Oh shit.
What did I do?
Nothing.
Well, what didn't I do?
It's not like that.
Well, then what's it like, Danielle?
She dug herself
Thank you.
in a normality grave. Now she can't let him down without making him feel like shit, but it's not about him.
No,
You
it
know?
doesn't.
This makes no sense.
I should have said something sooner.
Yeah, you think?
I didn't want to hurt you or your mom.
Jesus Christ.
I just thought I was being selfish. That I could just stick it out and eventually I would feel how I was supposed to.
You didn't want to hurt me, huh?
And I love you.
It's just not like that.
It's just not.
Fuck
I don't,
you, Danielle. Why are you doing this to me?
Dude.
Eddie.
No, let me go.
Eddie,
Let me go.
I'm sorry.
Jesus, have you not? You've done enough.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. Eddie. Eddie.
Oh, that's how it happened. Okay, our mind is fucked up.
Oh shit.
You know, in the old days, I mean the really old days, they used to build giant bonfires at this time of year. Talk about the people they'd lost. So, anyone got any old bones to throw?
I think they've got a lot of bones to throw.
Start. What about you, Poppins? No, thank you.
You should.
It's all right.
My mum, she was 67. Except sometimes, by the end, she forgot that. Called me by my dad's name or her brother's. They didn't say any of that at the funeral. Made it nice. So they left out all the bad stuff. And all the good stuff. They didn't say how funny she was. And she loved me so hard. It hurt. She was gone long before she died. And I miss her. She was my anchor. And then I suppose she was my bird. She seemed so small at the end, but still so heavy, and all I could do was just let her hang on to me until it was time to let go. And soon I'll let her go too.
Really sad. A really hard situation as well. She has to let go, but it's almost like she feels like she can't because maybe she feels responsible for what happened.
Yeah.
Thank you. Forgive me.
Yeah. Like Owen said, like an anchor. Always after her.
You made him sing that note right for the end. I hope you know that.
And hearing what those people have to say about them as a couple, knowing what she told them and what went on.
Excuse me!
And what's worse is
Leopold was tired.
she feels
She
guilty
chose
for
someone
something
to
she's
keep
not even
close to her
responsible
that she could
for.
feel tired around.
Told you about my fiance earlier, didn't I?
Oh, you did?
We were engaged, and he died. And sometimes it's like I see him.
That's good.
I'm
Find someone that you trust enough
so,
to tell it.
so sorry.
And she's very
We were about
nice
to
to
break
talk
up.
to.
I'll sort him out for you if I have to.
Oi! Dead boyfriend! Give it up, mate! It's over!
I love her.
Just trying to make her feel
Here is your
better.
puppies. I know what it feels like. Feel like you can't find you.
I'm all for it. It's moving on. Oh no, no.
Okay.
Jamie?
You were just telling me, literally telling me that you weren't up for this. Just, let's get back. Another night maybe.
She sees him live whenever she gets close to her.
Well,
She feels so guilty.
her dead fiancé is a reminder of her own
Odd, the
guilt.
gardener didn't
So
yet
yeah.
understand.
Did something move in the house?
And the creepy doll again, please.
It's the one under the...
Miles!
She creeps me out. We haven't seen her yet, but she
We're
creeps me
scared
out.
by a weird doll. We're scared by a weird
They're scared,
doll.
and they're scared of her. They locked her up because of her.
Yeah, I know.
It's just...
Oh, we're gonna see her then.
Oh, she's out. She's right there.
Miss Clayton!
What the heck are you doing down here?
Flora had a nightmare.
I'm looking
Where?
behind.
There was something horrible and loud in the wardrobe.
He's looking.
Moving
Yeah.
from in there to under. And it knew my name. And I was reaching out and it knew my name. And it said it wanted to do awful things.
Oh my fucking god.
And it had bones for hands. It was my mum.
That's so fucking creepy.
I am so sorry, Flora.
She's so
That's
fucking drunk.
Here's
the
a glass of milk.
ghost of the mom, right?
I mean, we guessed
Because
that.
the footsteps are going to the
To her room,
the
yeah.
parents' wings.
They're just handling her, you know? There's a shadow on the left.
Mhm.
Went back to the lake.
I'm sorry.
That's creepy as fuck.
numbing your feelings won't help.
But she
It's
needs
just you and me then.
to face this. Damn, whoa. Okay.
What a nice, creepy, and sad episode it was.
It was a very emotional episode.
I'm glad that we finally know what happened with Dani and our guilty ghost.
Our minds always go like to situations like, oh, she must have killed him. Like, she must have ran over him. It was just an accident.
Our imagination is way over the top sometimes.
But she feels like she drove him to this.
I
Because
kinda-
if she hadn't said anything, he wouldn't have gotten out of the car, and that wouldn't have happened. And if
True.
guilt isn't about, if the actual killing isn't on her shoulders, she probably feels guilty about breaking his heart and disappointing him. I don't, from the looks of what she told Miles, her family and stuff, like her mom wasn't the role model that she should be, the support that she needed.
Yeah.
She wasn't a good mom. And still, I don't know how that came to be. Like, we can only guess, but from what she was saying, she always felt like she needed to be perfect in the eyes of everyone else, everyone around her. Maybe, sometimes I don't know if how her mother was, if she was just not present, if she mentioned something about her giving her, a glass of wine, but not putting water in it, like she was an alcoholic maybe. Maybe Dani was trying to, be perfect so her mom wouldn't worry about her or wouldn't, focus on her. I don't know, but she felt the expectations of so many people that when it came to her sexuality and how she should be, she buried that so deep. But she was attracted to women. Still, she didn't want to go that route because everyone assumed that, oh, you were always running around with Emmett. Was that his name, Emmett? Edmund? Anyway, she was running around with them. They were cute together. They grew up together, so everyone expected them to date. And then he started, he kissed her, and then he kept asking her to marry him. So the expectations were there, and I know what it is, and we know what it is, to be in a society that puts expectations on you. You're a girl, you gotta dress girly, you gotta act girly, you gotta have a first boyfriend by that age, or otherwise you're different, you're weird and stuff. I can easily imagine what the stress of that lifestyle did to her, and she felt forced to fit in.
I'm gonna say that, to me, though, I think that since she lost her father when she was really young and her mother wasn't present, she found her second family with Edmund and his father, his brother, and his mother, and she felt accepted with them, and she basically grew up with them.
Yeah.
And by the time that Edmund technically fell in love with her, it's just she loved them as a family, but not to the point to just gonna be, oh, I'm gonna fall in love with you and marry you, but she didn't want to. He's the only family that she knew her entire life. She just didn't want to.
Yeah. I agree with that, but I'm adding to this with the stress because she mentioned expectations. He knew her. I think he knew her as a person. He just didn't know this side of her because she denied it to herself. But he did mention, and she was saying when she said about, that they should break up, she was mentioning how weddings were huge and there were a lot of people to disappoint, a lot of people to let down. I think that's what it was about, She knew that she was attracted to women and she wasn't attracted to men, and she loved them, but not in that way. And it was just so hard for her to let them down that she just played the game. And that's why this whole breakup scene is hard to watch, because I understand her so much, and at the same time I can understand him as well. You spent years loving that person, and then you probably feel cheated. Like, you probably feel like she lied to you.
I guess that it could have understood that she was attracted to a woman if she told him earlier.
But that's the thing, like, if you don't live this yourself, you don't know what it is to admit it to yourself. You don't know what it is to admit it to others, especially if he put a lot on her shoulders, because he looked like the perfect boyfriend. He looked like he was so loving. He was there for her. The mom was giving her a wedding dress
You
and
know
stuff.
what? No. He didn't put pressure on her.
No, but that's probably how she felt towards that.
Yeah.
By having him around and being such a loving boyfriend, and having the mom give her the wedding dress, and having everyone be so happy for this, she felt like if she said anything, she was going to let them all down.
Yeah.
So it's not a question of, oh, I just figured out I'm gay, so you know what, I'm really sorry, but it's over. But for him, it's probably how he took it. Like, you knew for how long now and you never told me, so he took it really wrong. Given a couple of days, maybe he would have, mellowed down.
But he didn't have a couple of days. He just died right after.
Unfortunately, sadly, I really didn't like his reaction, but I can understand it. His reaction to, fuck you, you did this to me, and the way he pushed that on her was kind of selfish, but I understand it because he felt like he's been cheated.
He thought he was supposed to marry the girl he was in love with since he was 10 years old.
That's the thing, yeah.
He loved her for that long.
He probably felt at that moment that she was leading him on somehow.
There's that too.
And it's horrible because
like you said, with a couple of days, they could have talked and make up and just be friends and be okay, but they didn't have that.
No, and that's the thing, now she's left with only the regrets of having that last conversation that kind of pushed him towards his death, sort of. And every time she can't, it's almost like she can't be herself now, because when she stayed in the US, she was surrounded still by the people that were like, you said it in the episode, like everyone kind of commenting on her relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably a huge weight on her shoulders, which is why she left. But then you can't escape who you are. And it shows here when she's attracted. Is it Jamie, her name?
Jamie.
Okay, thank you. When she's attracted to Jamie, it's not a coincidence that she sees the ghost of her boyfriend, fiance, outside of mirrors and stuff. Because when you look at mirrors, we say usually, mirrors are kind of no, it's the eyes that are gateways to your soul. But when she looks at mirrors, she sees herself. Mm-hmm. So there's no way to hide. There's only the truth. Mm-hmm. This is who you are. This is how you want to be, and this is what killed them. So he's always over there. He's the guilt. He's always hovering over her shoulder, making sure she doesn't forget that.
Yeah.
So she covers up the mirrors. But then when she's hanging out with Jamie, it comes back outside of the mirrors, because it's like, you really want to get it on with a girl. That's the reason why I'm
dead, basically.
Exactly. It's very sad. And that's one thing that Haunting of does really well. It did it well in Hill House. It does it well in Bly Manor.
Psychological trauma.
Yeah, but they're fleshing them out. They're putting a lot of layers on these characters. And it's very cool, because we're talking about grief. Owen losing his mom. The story by Flora about, her feeling like she was dead. Mm-hmm. And it was so fucking, relevant. Yeah. I don't know, so you were saying, guys, not to pay much attention to the others. And I agree. So I'm not gonna do that. But it's hard not to pay attention to
when listening stuff like that. But yeah, I can relate to the fact that when you lose someone important to you, like parents or brothers, sisters, or a friend, it's true that the grief and the pain and the sadness make you believe that you're dead man or dead woman living, because it's hard for yourself to think that there's something else to live on. But it's those emotions that technically are making us alive,
Okay, yeah, true. And I'm gonna open a door here and say, funny enough, I know that in this show, ghosts are a thing. I know that actual ghosts exist. But it's interesting to see also, our personal ghosts. We keep going back to what grief is, what ghosts are for many different characters. What makes someone stay behind when they die, you know? Is it the actual ghost staying behind, or are we, the living, the ones that keep them around because we can't let them go? You know, I love that monologue that Owen gave about his mom being, you know, he remembered her as the mom that he loved, but also the burden that he wished he could let go, because at the end she was someone he had to take care of more than someone he could just enjoy being with. So it's really sad, but for him, her dying is kind of a liberation for him. And it's also like it's gonna give him the opportunity to remember her good days instead of always replacing them with the bad ones.
Yeah.
So he has to let go of that anchor, like he said, and Dani can do that. She is stuck with that anchor, which makes me wonder, like, all of these ghosts that are on the property, are they there because they're anchored to the place, the people that live there, because they can't let them go?
Usually, ghosts are staying at the same place because they're anchored to something, from what I remember. So, yeah, probably. But for Dani, yes, she's not really good at handling her guilt.
No.
And handling what's burning her mind.
It hasn't been that long, so...
I want to say that because I was really happy when she kissed Jamie, because they're really good together, but with her mind state right now, I think that's a good idea to start a relationship, you know, because she's broken inside and she needs to find a way to start not feeling guilty about what she said to her ex-fiancé.
I wouldn't say starting a relationship because she's not stable right now, but allowing herself to be with her would be a way for her to accept that this is who she is, and this is not a burden.
She could probably start by finding a way to talk about it and accept it.
Well, she's on her way.
And accepting her way to be with Jamie afterwards.
She threw the glasses and she's facing the ghost. So...
Yeah. She's starting something.
Because, I mean, I know she's drunk, but maybe, you know, having Flora tell that story, I know it was made up, but tell that story about her parents, the dream that she supposedly had, and have her, you know, tell that stuff about feeling dead after her parents died, but then realizing that if she felt that way, it was because she was alive. So it's what a great fucking speech by a kid, by the way.
Yeah.
If you take away the fact that she's a creepy kid that plays with living dolls, and she also plays in cemeteries and stuff, she can say some pretty deep stuff, and in this case it was really relevant to a lot of things. And I think it made her realize that if she wants to live, because she is alive, if she wants to live, she needs to let go of her past, accept that it wasn't the reason why he died, she wasn't to blame, and who she is isn't a bad thing. She needs to open herself to possibilities.
True.
I want to see where she's gonna go next, but yeah, so that's the emotional side of this episode.
Now about the creepy stuff.
There's two things with the cemetery and the names of Viola Lord and
Ambrose
Lloyd. I kept looking at the headstones. I was like, oh, there's a clue here somehow. But it's not a coincidence that they showed us that name twice, but we don't know anyone named that, right?
No. That's not the last name of the mother.
No, that's the thing. And it's not their first name either. So no. Charlotte and Dominic. So Dominique. So we don't know.
Ambrose and Viola. What's the story behind these tombstones?
I don't know. And it's not a coincidence that Flora took the time to mark out Viola either. So I wonder, it's going to come back for sure. Like, a lot of people are saying online that this show won't make sense until the last 3 episodes.
Just like the first season.
But it's great because it's cool. It's a factor that gives us the chance to rewatch it again and see all the clues. We're seeing them, we just can't make sense of them.
True.
So we're kind of in the dark. All we can do is discuss characters and possibilities, but the possibilities are making less and less sense as we go on and learn about the backstories of the characters. Like, we were thinking maybe, because when our mind was set on, holy shit, it's the others, we were saying, oh, maybe Dani used to be the mom and she doesn't know, but then we have an entire backstory with her in the US, with a family, with a guy, with, with problems, so But one thing I'm sure of, or at least one thing I really think is true, is that, what's her name? The one that never eats?
Anna?
Anna? Good, thank you, because I'm bad with names.
Yeah,
But
I know.
Anna is definitely a ghost. Or if she's not a ghost, they all are, and she's not. But I think she's a ghost, and she knows it, and she doesn't allow herself to eat. We don't see her sleep. We don't see her leave the property. And she knows too much to be just a random caretaker in the background, you know?
Yeah.
As for the other two, I think they're alive, though.
You think?
I will say, I don't know. I think they are okay. Dani is okay. The children, though, I'm not sure.
I don't know why, though, the children are so scared of their own mother.
We don't know if
Because
it's the mom.
I'm sure that's the mother. Because
Well, she forgot who she was,
there's-
so...
She's Flora talk about a nightmare about her mother, where she's keeping Dani's attention because of the ghost is behind her, and the ghost kept going from the lake to the parents' wings to the mother's bedroom.
That we know that she goes to that wing, so that's why we thought it was the mom. But one thing that Flora said about her is that she forgot who she was. So in that case, she's just the lady from the lake. If she is the mom, then she could be dangerous now because she doesn't know, you know?
Yeah.
She's just doing her thing. It's like she's stuck in a loop somehow, and I don't know, if she sees something that she is not supposed to be there, she could freak out.
Probably.
I'm wondering why, like, we don't know where the parents were. Like, they kept saying that the parents weren't around when they died, like they were far away. So why, if it's the mom, why the relationship with the lake?
You think she's trying to find her way back home, maybe?
But then why the lake? Why would she be the lady in the lake? I don't know. So that's why I'm
maybe
like...
she died in water, so... Who knows?
But that's why I'm like, it might not be the mom, but it might be related to the family somehow. Or, you know, it's an ancestor of the family.
Like
that
Violet
used to live
Lord or Ambrose Lode, you said?
Well, we saw names.
We saw
But it was
names.
a creepy thing. Like, I know that when we watched Hill House, the dancing lady, you know, ended up being the mom, and it wasn't scary at all. But we creeped out over this for a while.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, we're not imagining anything here, you know? It is creepy to have a drowned lady walk around like that, and the children are scared of her. Having dolls move like this, and, you know, it's a great map. Like, it's like the Marauders map. Gosh, ugh. In Harry Potter, like, you know exactly where the ghosts are, so it helps. So it's like a system. So it kind of makes me feel okay, because at least we won't be surprised by her like that. But it's still creepy as fuck. But in true Hill House fashion, or Bly Manor fashion in this case, it could turn out to be something very sweet and very, very sad, you know?
With that, hell no. Hell no.
I don't know.
I'm so uneasy when I see
Depends on who
a
she is.
shadow, long black hair with a white dress. I'm always uneasy. No,
but
hell no.
It depends on who it actually is. If that person gets back her face, maybe, you know, it's interesting. I just had a thought, and I'm pretty sure it's not right, but she's the lady from the lake. She has no face. She has no identity. And you got Rebecca, who also killed herself in the lake. What if, when you lose yourself, when you don't know, like, you don't know where you want to go, you don't know who you want to be, you don't know what you're supposed to do, and you meet that lady in the lake, and she just attaches to you, and you become the new lady in the lake.
You think?
So you go back to the lake.
I saw Rebecca's ghost with Flora when she was hiding.
Because she died. But when that happened, what if, like, she didn't know what to make of herself now because she was so lost after Peter? And what if that lady in the lake, who has no identity, as far as we know, met Rebecca and chose that, hey, I mean, could take her, you know? And so Rebecca went back to the lake.
Oh, that could explain why.
It's like a theory that is
like
very small, very crazy.
Well, it's true though that Miles is being possessed by Peter. So what if she possessed people when she see them?
Because she doesn't know who she is,
and she kept going back to the lake. So yeah, they're gonna go back to the lake with her, and they're gonna die in the lake. So yeah, Dani, stay in bed, girl.
Yeah, well, she doesn't. She never does. People in horror series or movies, they never listen.
No. No, not at all.
Anyway, we're gonna end this here, but it was a very sad, emotional episode. We didn't talk much during the episode. There was too many monologues that were so good.
Yeah, so we needed to shut up.
So thank you guys so much for watching this with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it's already on Patreon. Check it out. The link is in the description.
Yeah, already have Siri.
Yes, wow.
Yeah, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to watch it now, guys. And if not, wait for next week.
Yes.
Okay, so see you then.
Bye.